All right, by request, here is a breakdown of the new Duck and RotatoR toys that I was able to get my hands on. Let's start with RotatoR. So some of the things that I'm sure people have been wondering about is that third piece. It is that top panel there, in addition to the front and back piece, which I left here. There it is, back piece. Another question regarding how easily or if the spinners come off, and they do pretty easily. As you can see, it didn't take a lot of force to pop it off. It has a knob that it pops into, which is kind of nice. Probably be easy to put something else onto those knobs if you want to modify this. I did have a spinner come off during a fight, which didn't seem like a huge problem. I don't expect that to happen regularly because it is relatively secure. Let's see what else. The actual inner workings. One thing that, is slightly disappointing is that both of the spinners work off of the same motor. As you maybe can see, there's a motor down here which actually runs the undercutter spinner, which is attached to a large belt that also spins the top spinner. What that means, of course, is that you can't have one going without the other, which I thought was going to be the case when I first saw that. Yes, they do have two buttons. Both Duck and RotatoR come with two buttons. Unfortunately, with RotatoR, both buttons just turn on both or off both of the spinners. That also means, however, that when you hit a wall or you bump into something with the back spinner, whichever one isn't facing your opponent, it will also stop the spinner that is facing your opponent because they do work together, I guess. So slightly disappointing, but overall, I like the design. I think it hits pretty hard. And the wheels are big and beefy, which I like too. Let's see, anything else that comes to mind? I'll put it into the arena and play around with it a little bit. But let's look at Duck first. All right, so Duck. Duck's three parts are the back wheels that pop off, as well as the top panel. You can see the inner workings, I'm hoping, of Duck. Extremely complex. I mean, there are a tremendous number of gears. I didn't actually count them yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each side of the, or 6, excuse me, not on each side, but 6 for the weapon, and typical, well, even more than usual, 4 for those front wheels. So yeah, it does have a lot going on inside. 3 motors as well, 1 for each wheel, 1 for the weapon, which I'll show you in a minute. It looks cool, looks great, looks just like your typical Duck. I will say, much like Duck, he does not, the wheels and the top do not come off easily, which is kind of nice. So he seems relatively durable. He's a lot of fun. They really did a nice job of kind of getting that typical Duck gritty toughness without making him overpowered in the weapon department either, which is what I will show you next. So if we take a look at Duck, one of the buttons makes the weapon go back. One makes the weapon go forward, which is kind of cool. I did run into a problem, although I'm not seeing it right now, that if you put the weapon too far forward, there we go, it actually takes the wheels off the ground, which is kind of annoying, but it just requires a little touch up to move the weapon back into place. Duck is relatively quick, pretty agile, which is nice. Plenty of pushing power, as you can see. If you watch one of my other videos too of me playing around with it, he definitely pushes RotatoR around quite a bit in our practice matches. He can do tricks, which is cool. And lost the panel there, but he can invert himself and re-invert himself pretty easily, which is kind of cool. If I put my friend here that I modified, or just a regular empty chassis, you can see that he, as I said, he pushes pretty powerful, pretty easily. One of the things I know people were hoping was that the beak itself would be a heavy lifter, or a powerful lifter. It isn't. I mean, that's about as far as you're going to get. I'm pushing, maybe inching a little bit, and you can see, kind of just let it go. All right, I'll try on this spot, barely get. The one thing I did notice, though, when fighting with Duck, is that small lift. I don't even know if you can see it on camera, but that small lift is enough to pull, and you can actually kind of tell it from here, pull a bots wheels off the ground, which of course makes it easier to push. So overall, I think they did a really good job of nailing Duck. I really enjoyed fighting with him. He's not going to have anything super powerful weapon-wise, obviously. Seems very durable. Just tanks hits. I mean, RotatoR struggled against him, although I think RotatoR's powerful. Duck just kind of tanked those hits from the spinner. I don't even know if the top spinner even touches Duck unless it's got its weapon up. Just pushed RotatoR around the arena, which was kind of cool. So that's Duck. I can't think of anything else to tell you off the top of my head. It's definitely fun. It's really fun to be able to do a dance other than this when you celebrate with the inverted, this stuff. So fun for sure. I'm very happy with Duck overall. All right, let's look at RotatoR. Let me turn Duck off and take a look at RotatoR. So my first impressions of RotatoR is that he hits pretty strongly for something with 0 modifications. It's the double weapon system is cool. I think a lot of people were hoping for 2 motors on there. I can't say I'm surprised there aren't, but it's slightly disappointing, I guess. As you can see, I will turn on the weapons. They both spin. Yep. He's pretty agile. Not as fast as Duck, I would say, but pretty agile. As you can probably tell, those pieces come off pretty easily. These pop off pretty quickly. Not sure it really matters, but they do. The front of the robot is actually the undercutter, which takes a little getting used to. I guess it makes sense when you think about it, but I kind of didn't expect that, I guess. The top is at a decent height. As you can see, on a shorter robot, it might miss, but for the most part, the height seems okay for most robots. Not the quickest spin there, a lot going on with the force, obviously, with 2 weapons, but it's relatively agile, moves pretty well. As you can see, I can kind of demonstrate here. That front top spinner completely stops because of the undercutter being stuck against the wall, which is disappointing, especially when you've got Duck in your face and you can't spin up because Duck is in your face and pushing you against the wall. But overall, RotatoR seems like a lot of fun. I have not tried him out against anything but Duck because being new, I wanted to play around with him. So I'm interested to see how he does outside of our contest with Duck. Trying to think anything else. I think that's about it. Both robots seem well done. Oh, and one thing people had asked about, in addition to the weapons, and if they can come off or not, is does it hit the ground? No. I have not seen any situation which RotatoR will hit the ground and therefore stop that undercutter, because it has a nice little knob there that keeps it from the ground. I think that is all. I hope you enjoyed a little rundown of our 2 awesome new Hexbugs. I look forward to seeing people play around with them as well. I know I can't wait to modify some of them eventually as well. There's a lot to be done with RotatoR, even though it only has 1 motor. I don't know about Duck in terms of modifications, just because it's so different and simple, but I'm sure some of you will come up with some cool stuff. Alright, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please watch my others if you want to see Duck or my current tournament I have going on. Scroll down to those other videos. Thank you.